So just want to talk about community. A few examples of this have kind of given me a lot of positivity recently. I just want to share. Any comments, please write them below. So the purpose of this 5 or 6 minute is very much around the community that you have and why it's important to develop it. I was at an event yesterday, Staffordshire County in the middle of England. Business people, sort of local politicians, anyone that's interested in developing Staffordshire as a county, to promote it, to learn, etc. And very much similar to watching a rugby or football team or netball team, or going to the Olympics or going to the World Cup. Even going to a CrossFit gym, people have, or the gym, people have a loyalty, a need to identify with a place, a group of people, a type of people, right through to political classes. We all want to, generally speaking, not we all, but generally speaking, we feel good when we attach ourselves to like-minded or people with something in common. I'm in a room yesterday with 100 people from Staffordshire. Don't know any of them, probably very different to many of them. The only thing we have in common is we're there to learn and promote about the county that we were born and some of us live in. And that feeling, when one guy was talking about it, they put a nice video on of different parts of the county, Alton Towers, Trentham Gardens, Clip-and-Climb Stoke, beautiful scenery, some emotive music, and people clap. You could see people clapping, this emotion of I'm from Staffordshire, I'm proud, I'm part of this community. And that is the same feeling I think a lot of people get when they go home and visit their hometown. When I used to drive up the M6, I used to feel really proud of, people feel proud even though they live in London or New York or Singapore. Most people are proud of where they're born. Joe Biden, right, his 7th family removed, and he's gushing about Ireland, albeit badly, and making a few cock-ups. But so the point of this is, if we believe that we all feel very spirited about the places that we're born, the places that we live, the football teams we identify with, rugby teams, the school we went to, some of my best friends now these days are school friends. Hello guys, see you in a few weeks. And I guess the point is, what I felt in my life very much is that when I haven't had that team, that association with people, that group, that collective spirit, if you like, that connection, have been the times when I felt most disassociated, or indeed, not perhaps as fulfilled. So what I would say to you is I think we all know, most people know, that it's important to be part of a community, right? But what happens if you don't play sport or you like sport? What happens if you're in a new town or a new city? What happens if you're suddenly separated or you're out of a relationship and suddenly you've got a different community? So the first conclusion of this little talk to myself is, even going to the gym is a community. Within your week, within your month, attach yourself to 2 or 3 communities. It could be as simple as going to a talking night, like a sit and talking group. It could be flower arranging. It could be joining a society. It could be joining the National Trust. It doesn't have to be going to a regular Saturday sports match. It could be, you could drop into things. I think the idea is, the way that I try and lead my life is that I am involved with 3, 4, 5 groups of people, not including work, where you develop friendships, communities, but actually all of those communities have a purpose. Watching entertainment, watching a game of football is not having purpose. It's entertainment. So I would suggest that aside from watching things that are fun, actually most football games aren't fun. Most people seem to spend their life shouting abuse at people, so it's not fun. It's actually something different else. That's another topic for another day. But what they're going for is the sense of belonging. And the reason why they need that is probably because they're not fulfilled outside of it. And that's why the anger comes in, because they're heavily emotionally attached to the outcome of a game, which is ridiculous really when you think about it. It's other people playing sport and people are getting emotionally very upset about it. What they're attached to is that they're getting angry with them expressing anger because they feel that their sense of community is somehow under attack by the fact that the referee is against them, or the opposite fans are against them, or they're going to lose a match. They're obsessed on the outcome of a game which is meaningless in most purposes in life. Yes, it's nice to be committed to a team, but think about the reasons why that is. It's nothing to do actually with the game of football. It's to do with a sense of belonging, and the more angry you are with it, the more you need that, and the less you have foundation, I would argue, in your life. That sense of community and wholeness is not there. So the football match, the rugby match, becomes the essence of everything. It becomes more important than it is. So it's not about football matches. There's nothing wrong with supporting a football team. I'm talking about the emotions that underlie the reaction to things, the outcome of that game, and why that happens. And I think people who are deeply attached to the outcomes of other people possibly need to reflect on why that is. Ultimately, if you are attached to yourself and your relationships and the work that you do, you don't need to be invested in the outcomes of external forces. Very much the same as buying expensive sports cars or nice clothes. You know, if you're looking for an emotional validation from those things, it's the same as watching some other people play sport and expecting yourself to feel fulfilled by that. Simple answer is you won't, and that's why you have a very short-term emotional reaction, in my opinion. There may be lots of people who think that's utter drivel. That's fine. It's in my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But back to community. If you're feeling, maybe some people are introverted, right? So they don't like to put themselves out there. But essentially, have a think locally, right? Or the types of things, even online, the types of things that you can start to build that sense of involvement and community and connection. And ultimately, I think that is super important for people. Much as you might find it discomforting, start slowly by, go onto Facebook community, go to a bring and buy sale, start following charities, start going for coffee mornings, get yourself involved in a local charity where you're doing some fundraising, go on a walking group. I mean, there's so much to do, and you can actually drop in to so many different types of activities that you enjoy. That community will build, you meet new people, it will give you opportunities, and that connection that we all seek can be met through positive, purpose-driven sort of social lives. Very important, obviously, as you get older, very important as you maybe become more isolated when the kids leave home. But again, sitting on Facebook, sitting at home on your own, having an online community is never going to give you a sense of achievement and satisfaction. So as hard as it is to reach out, to turn up to new places, to call on an old friend, to get people together, you may have to be the catalyst to create that community. It doesn't always exist that you can walk into it. You've got to research it. Maybe you've got to start it yourself. Trust me, from my perspective, it's really important to build foundations like that. Wherever you are in the world, however difficult life might be at the moment, take that step. Go to things where you can be proud of the society that you live in, the community, the village, the county, the sports team, the school group, and connect. And that will give you a sense, I think, of connection. You connect and get a sense of connection. Hope that helps.